The first step would be for everybody to care about other people and not about themselves only.
People should respect each other, not dependent with the color, the gender.
We must avoid all this confrontation, you know.
The fact that we're all humans is what unites us. So,
but I think you start to think of yourself more as a person from the planet.
The task of the media is to help society find a common language and communicate.
I think friendship and being nice to each other can unite everyone.
I want to live in a society where the people are very conscious, so they make conscious decisions.
Work for the sake of society, for the sake of love, for the sake of connection.
I see that all people want two things: love and respect.
A compassionate society, a society that understands that your needs are validated.
What unites us is being in relationship with each other.
It's about humanizing the human society.
Everybody has to be informed in a proper way.
Let's support each other. Let's help each other, no matter what another person may have.
In a creative society, human life will be of highest value, and the best human qualities will prevail.
Greetings, dear viewers. Today, the chain of ongoing meetings within the framework of the project Creative Society brought us to Singapore. I'm very happy to introduce you our today's guest, Lina Rodriguez, entrepreneur and project manager in environmental issues, originally from Colombia. Lina was nominated by our previous guest, Alish, and we are very happy to see you with us here today, Lina. Thank you so much for joining. How are you?
Hi, Alina. I'm fine. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here with you today.
Thank you so much. And also, I want to introduce my today's co-host, Ala. Hi, Ala.
Hi, Ala.
Hi, everyone. And for those who are joining us at the first time, I would like to remind that a larger international public movement has launched a unique global project, which called Creative Society. Within this project, we ask people all over the world how they envision creative and constructive society, such a society where every single human being is fundamental unit of the society, where everyone feels happy, live in prosperity, and feel safe. So welcome to our program, Lina, and thank you for accepting our invitation. We would like to ask you, could you please tell us a little bit more about yourself? What are you doing and how you came to it? What actually inspired you?
Thank you so much, Ala. Well, that's always a challenging question, but I can say that I am a person who really enjoys human interaction. I love to talk to people. I love to help others, to be, give my contribution any way I can do it, either through an advice, an action, just to be there. That's how I can describe myself, someone who likes to serve other human beings. And actually, that's why I joined as an environmental engineer since 2004. I started my studies as an environmental engineer with the idea of saving the planet. It's a very romantic idea, but I truly believe that in the way that if you can improve the environment for the people and for the animals and all the living things, you can have a better life and a better society, and people can be more happy. So that was my dream. I pursued that. I focused right now, I'm focusing on rivers, and recently I was part of projects here in Singapore for circular economy, projects that were focused on closing the loop for the plastic problematic that we have right now, how to tackle the problems that we had of plastics in the ocean. So that was one of the ways I was inspired and also doing my contribution to help this planet to be a better place, and also to help human beings to have a better life conditions. So that's basically what I do as a professional. If you ask me as well, I have a business to help people as well to improve his healthy habits. It's a business about healthy snacks. So what I do is to bake with love this healthy granola that people have enjoyed very much. And it's a very, very, it's a bestseller product. And that's the way I give love and serve to other human beings through these products.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Yes, it's you're doing such an amazing job right now, and not just care for environment, but for people as well. And yes, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
It's also, and you know, listening to your story, it is impossible not to notice your inner striving for harmony, for everything around you to be beautiful, to be clean, to be healthy. And what or who helped you to develop such qualities in yourself?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Like, where did you get this feeling of harmony and the feeling that it's great to change something around for it to be helpful for people, for it to be beautiful and healthy? Where does it come from? From your childhood, maybe?
Okay. Well, I think it's probably from my childhood. I was always very sensible about my surroundings, about what was happening in my surroundings. And I come from a country that has been, unfortunately, in conflict for more than 50 years. And since I was very little, I was exposed to this tragic news about the guerrilla and some issues in my country. And once I asked to my father why people act that way. And he could simply have say like, because, or just ignore my question. But he just sit down and try to explain me why people had the choice to do that. So in that way, I was always thinking, maybe if I do something, if I can be caring, kind with people, maybe I can do an impact and a change in people's life. And also, one of the things is my family. I had a special brother with the special conditions. So he was a very special person, in a way to say. He had this condition where he cannot walk, and we had to be their legs, their arms, their strength, and to help him to know the world just by, you know, taking them to places and to helping them, serving him every day. And I think that was the person that really influenced my desire to serve other human beings and to give a contribution, and also to be more empathetic to people's feelings and people's needs. So that was a daily practice with my brother. And I think that was something that really impact and stick in my heart, and that is what it motivates me to do what I do.
Well, thank you so much, Lina, because yes, your brother has inspired you for doing such things for the humanity and for care about people, and we would like to say thank you for that, because many people now feeling your love, care and support as well for that, for your experiences. And Lina, we know that you are environmental engineer, and there is a huge problem with the medical and constructive waste, polluting our rivers, oceans, and any other water life streams. And we'd like to ask you, how do you envision health safety and the utilization of waste in creative society? What should we focus on so our water will stay clean and safe to use?
Well, I think that if we talk about rivers and we talk about water pollution, I think that is something that it requires more than regulations. Mm-hmm. I think it's more like an action and really a long-term vision of what is it that you want to achieve. what is it that you want for your river? And I want to take the example of the Singapore River. Since I arrived to Singapore 2 years ago, I've been in Asia for around 4 years. And since I arrived to Singapore, I was marveled to see the rivers and all the water that this island has. You know, it's a very small island. This example really inspired me. You know, in my country, we have this, we are very rich in resources. We are number 3 in water resources. And I grew up nearby rivers and you know, like seeing the little creeks, and if you want to go to travel anywhere in the country, you can find rivers and enjoy the nature. But most of these city rivers were polluted, were highly polluted, and still they are. And when I came to Singapore, Singapore is as I mentioned, is a very small country that in the past, they didn't have any water resources for themselves. So they did, all the water supply depends from Malaysia. They have very small reservoirs. But when Singapore became independent in the 60s, the biggest concern was the water. How are we going to be self-sufficient? How are we going to rely in our resources rather than buying water from outside? And the way they did was through planning and through having a long-term planning and trying to see what were the actions that they need to do in order to improve the water, the quality of the rivers that they had. Like, let's start with what we have, and also let's project to have more capacity to storage water. So that mindset was what really influenced Singapore, and what it really brings Singapore 10 years later to have the rivers that they had. You know, in the 80s, and right now there's most of the rivers are still polluted around the world. In the 80s, Singapore achieved a major task that was to have clean rivers. So for me, that is the example. And I've been studying about that during these years here in Singapore, firsthand, walking around the rivers, bringing my family to know the rivers and see the beauty of how human intervention can really make a good impact. And I think that, just to answer your question, I think that it has to be annuated efforts. You know, you have to join and have the community, you have to have the people, the regulators, the industries all together trying to help to tackle the problematic and to understand the why. That's the most important thing. Why are you doing this? Why are you cleaning the river? And that's the way, the start point where you can achieve what you really want to achieve.
Thank you so much. Yes, we all should take responsibilities for our water and nature and environment as a whole, and about people as well and everything. Thank you, because it's actually great advice as well. And Singapore become quite a fantastic example of clean water and how they do it. And I think the rest of the world have to learn from them as well. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you. Yeah.
It's all about using technologies and ideas properly, yeah? And it's all about uniting with people and act toward the common goal. Thank you.
Yeah, and actually, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for what you are doing for our world, because it's really a lot.
Thank you. It's my duty, and I wanted to wrap up the idea is sometimes what government does, in a way, in the case of Singapore, people couldn't understand because they didn't see it, because we don't have patience as human beings. We want to see things done in an instant. And when we start to see that things are not going the way we expect, the way we imagine, we start to get tired, you know, maybe this is not the plan that is working. But here they had a different way. They try to engage the people, the community, to inform them, but also it's like when you tell to your children, you have to do this, and they don't understand why. But at the end, eventually, they will see the fruits of that decision that you had to make at that time. And that's where they say, okay, I understand now. Now I can trust. Now I understand, and now I can follow. So that is one of the most important things I think should be in every decision, in every action that you want to take. Inform people, but also do and then show.
Thank you so much. Yes, you're absolutely right with this, because be example, isn't it, for others, and teach our children, because they are first cell of our society. They need to learn how to make everything is better in this world right now, how respect each other, help each other, and help environment as well. And for that, the small steps will lead us for the future, for the better, brighter future and best opportunities for all human beings around the world. Thank you so much, Lina, for your opinions.
Thank you. That's true. That's true. We are the models of the little ones. That's a big responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to act, not just to wait that somebody will come and do something for us. We are here. It is our planet. It is our common home. Why don't you do something for it? Yeah.
That's right. It's true. It's true. It's in a way, it's our responsibility, and it's like when you live in your house, you have to take care of your place. You have to clean it, you have to make it beautiful, you have to do maintenance, and you have to try to maintain things in their place, right? And every change you do is for the best and for the good, so you can have a better life.
You're looking after, isn't it? You're looking after everything and taking responsibility for your house. So we have to treat this planet as well as like our one home. We don't have other residents, and we're all one human family. We need to remember we're just here right now, which we can do for the future generations to leave them the better world. Thank you so much, Lina. Yes, and Alina, I believe you have another question to ask as well.
Yeah, actually, Lina, we know you have been writing amazing articles about environmental leadership.
That's
in your
right.
opinion, what qualities should a leader have, any leader in any spheres of life? Who is the leader?
A leader. Well, for me, a leader is a person who leads by example. That's the first thing. But when I was thinking about, and it's good that you have raised the point of that article, I was really inspired of the story of Singapore and how they transformed the Singapore River. And I was thinking about Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, the former and the first prime minister. He was the one who led all the transformation of Singapore from a third world to a first class world. And I was reflecting, who is this person and how did he manage to have a better environment, to transform all the environment for the people? And I was starting to go into what he was in his memories, in all the work that he did. And I think that three things I highlighted that I think are important. Patience, because you need to plan long-term. You have to play long-term, because changes just come on the right moment when you do all what you need to do, the right steps, and you actually do the steps you need to do to achieve the goal. Persistence, because sometimes you're going to have people, the naysayers, or people who will not understand what the goal or the vision, and you have to stop and explain again and try to include all the people in the same boat so you can paddle towards the same direction. And also you need discipline, because without discipline, you will not be able to achieve the plan, what it is that you really want to do, with small steps every day, and the activities and the program that you have to follow, you will achieve that goal. So patience, persistence, and discipline are the 3 points I consider an environmental leader must have.
Wow, thank you so much, because you're so right, one step at a time. And this is leading us when this small step starting now, so we can actually build the better world that humanity deserves later. So, but we have to start now. And one little steps by steps, we will achieve this goal all together, and every single human being together as one big family. Thank you so much for qualities of the leaders. It's really important. Thank you. So I'd like to ask you another question about, because we know you are travel a lot around the world, and you are from Colombia, but you live in Singapore at the moment. So what do you think unites all people, regardless of their nationality, religion, or social status? What we all have in common?
Well, I think we have two things in common. The first one is love. We all human beings need to love and be loved. But the second one I consider is the most important, is to serve. You as a human being have a necessity to serve another human being in order to be happy. You know, like in my case, for example, I am a mom of a 7-year-old kid. And every time, you know, from the delivery and from the moment that he was born, I've been serving him every day, every single day. He was a very fragile human being. He still needs my guidance. And when I serve him and I help him to achieve things, to give advices, to guide him, and I see how he puts his best to achieve what he wants to achieve, to, you know, see him happy and smile for what he have achieved at such a small age, like, for example, walking or talking or doing skills, cutting, things like that, you feel very happy and you feel very satisfied with what you have done, the service. And I think that is something that gives you life and keeps you motivated in order to improve other people's life, but also improve your life. It's like a bucket. There's this story we read with our son that is called "How Full Is Your Bucket?" And it's a story about a kid who starts to fight, starts fighting with the sister, and then the sister starts to cry, and well, it becomes a mess. And then the uncle started to tell him that the sister reacted that way because his bucket was not full. And he started to explain that the kid started to go through a different scenarios and situations where he starts to feel that his bucket, like he said, everyone has a bucket. And the way you fill it is by being caring with others, or you empty if you are not feeling happy, or you let emotions affect you. So he started to feel like, for example, a teacher makes him read his story, and he starts to feel like his bucket is going to fill up, and then he helps another human being, the professor, who was very stressed, and everything went on the floor, so he helped him, and he realized that the bucket of the professor starts to fill, but as well his bucket starts to fill up. So then at the end he realized, my responsibility is to fill my bucket, but also to fill other people's bucket. And the way I fill mine is by filling others and helping others in what it is that they need. So I think service is very important. If you want to, in a way, be happy, more happy and satisfied, you need to start serve other human beings.
Thank you so much, because great society exactly about that, about the human life as the first center of great society, and we should help each other, lift each other up, and a great functional society where the human or person is care for society, and society care for him or her, for the person. So yes, we have to help each other and lift each other up. Thank you so much for your opinion, and yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And kindness, love, caring, they are so contagious, aren't they?
Yes.
So when people see example, we want to experience that as well. Lina, how do you see true happiness? What is true happiness for you?
For me, happiness, you mean?
Yeah. How would you define true happiness?
For me, happiness, I love to be with my family, you know, but more than that as well, I enjoy human interaction, as I mentioned on my at the start of the interview. I cannot spend one day without talking to someone and to bring someone laugh, make someone laugh. Like, for example, today I was buying something at the supermarket and I was already paying, but then I had to go for another product, and I went and I came back, and there was another a couple trying to pay, but the lady was telling them that the amount of actually my bill, and the girl, she was going to pay like 2 items, and I was going to pay like 10, and she was like, "What? How much?" And she was very scared, and I told her, "Oh, you're going to pay my bill. Thank you so much." So they started to laugh. And they were like, "No, that's not my bill." And well, we end up talking to each other and laughing and enjoy that moment. And then the couple left, but they were very happy, and the environment was totally transformed. And that is what is happiness for me, is what you can do for someone else. What can you do to bring a smile to someone? And perhaps to go more deeper, that's the question I always ask myself. How can I serve better another human being? How can I help that person to improve his day, or to make his day, maybe? So at the lift, I have to make people talk. And my husband always laughs because he says, "You make a speechless talk." Everybody, when they see me, they say good morning. They try to talk, to make conversation, because that is what I, on the first place, try to do. Of course, you will find people who, they are in a bad mood, or they are having things in their mind. I don't mind. I just trying to understand the person. If she doesn't say good morning, I don't mind. I just wanted to make her feel like it's okay. You feel that way, but we are here waiting for you. That's what happiness is for me. The possibility to serve another human being.
This door is always open, isn't it? And when you give this little smile to someone, you can fill them up for all day, make them day better and brighter. And it's fantastic. Thank you, Lina. And I'd like to remind our viewers, while doing our research, we came to understand that answers of all people, regardless of their nationality, any background, any professional skills, or anything, are very similar. And as a result of these 8 foundations was form of building the creative society, and present in the article, and it's article called Stages and Foundations for Building the Creative Society, and present on the official website alachaunites.com. So if anyone interested to read about these 8 foundations and 3 stages of building such a society, please welcome to visit our website. And right now, I would like to ask to put the little videos that remind us about 8 foundations. So thank you very much. Lina, we know you get familiar with those 8 foundations, and we would like to ask you, what do you think in general about them? And we're also going to discuss today the 8th foundation of creative society. So Lina, what do you think about these 8 foundations of creative society? Just any opinion on it?
Thank you, Ala. I think that the 8 pillars or the 8 foundations are transversal and are also very abarcative, if I may say so. I think it covers all the different aspects of a human being, of how human beings should live and should function, not only the physical needs, but also, in a way to say, the spiritual needs, the intellectual needs that you require to develop yourself as a human being in a society, of course. That's my opinion.
Thank you so much. Yes, and today we're going to discuss AIF Foundation. If you could please have it on screen, and so you can speak about it more.
So the number 8 is self-governing society, right?
Yes.
Well, I want to go a little bit from macro to macro to micro. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about self-governing society, I like to see it more as a self-governance people, human being, in a way to say. Mm-hmm. It's like, every human being is unique. Every human being is born with a set of talents, qualities, features that they come to Earth to bring and to develop and to make it grow for the service of other human beings. That is something that I have in my mind, and we as a family, we believe on, that you have a set of talents that you have received, and your responsibility is to make them grow, to make him give fruit, if I may say so. And that way is to bring it at the highest potential, and that way you can serve better other human beings, and you can bring and give your contribution to society. So we, as I mentioned, as we are unique, but we also have similar necessities, similar basic needs. I think that is one of the parts that the other foundations cover. But if we focus on self-governing, I like to think this as an example of what I love the most, which is rivers. So imagine you have a pristine river, a Rocky Mountain river, and you go for hiking, and you find the river, and you see the scenario, very beautiful trees, plants, grass, the water flowing, a lot of rocks, different shapes, different ways. Some of them are molded because of the water strength, some of them are higher, and the sun and different things have shaped them, and everything is working harmoniously, right? Yes. So I imagine that we human beings are like those rocks on that stream, on that Rocky Mountain river. We are so different and so unique, but if you remove one rock from that area, that scenario, the environment is going to change, right? It's going to look different. Absolutely. So that rock is at its best potential, in a way to say, for the environment, for the group where it is located. So as human beings, we are very different, and this is something that does not divide us, in a way unite us, because your talents maybe are different from mine. You might be good at giving advices. I might be good at listening. So we all complement. And for self-governance, I think that you need to grow, and you need to realize that you're responsible for that. You're responsible for growing and develop your talents at your highest potential. And you, as a human being, have a mission to serve and love. And love is through commitment, and serve is through actions. In that way to say, if we're going a little bit outside from the individual, I think that the next nucleus that is very important for you is family. Because family, I see it as a harvest of people. Is the place where you can actually grow as an individual in a society. In a society, we have different type of people. We have, we like it or not, we have different hierarchies, like people who is, and because they have more experience, or because they have different skills, they are in different positions. So in our family, it happens the same. There's the mom, the dad, the kids, and that's the space and the environment where children and human beings learn how to interact, how to love, how to serve, how to bring up their opinions in a respectful way, how to understand different points of view. You know, it's a place where you have an exposure of how is society look like. And I think that that part is very important. And as a human being, you need to develop the different skills that you require, and it's your responsibility to do it. So that's why I consider that self-governing society must be grouped and comprised by people who are self-aware of what is their role in the society and their responsibility to be the best version of themselves. That's what I consider, and I like the way you portray in the foundations, because I think that's one of the most important parts. It is the last one, but it actually comprises the other 7. You know, once you have self-governing society in a way that every human being is aware of their how to say, of their place in the society, that way is where we are going to have a self-governing society. Everybody is going to contribute with the best of themselves, and we need to provide that environment for them.
Thank you so much for your opinion. And yes, it's let's help each other, let's respect each other, let's lift each other up and build a better world. And as you said, this beautiful example with rivers, let's live in harmony, where every single human being has their own role, the unique role of being in the society and functioning this in a most harmonical way it's possible to be, because everybody is valuable and everybody is for this society is needed, and let's do it all together. Thank you so much, Lina, for your opinion on AIF Foundation. This was great. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. I always tell my son, you are an important part of the family. If you don't set the table, how are we going to have breakfast? So he's like, okay. So that's so simple.
So simple, yes. We have to all do it together, isn't it? To build a better world. Yes. Thank you so much.
I can imagine how amazing would our world look like if all people would take responsibility on themselves, and all people would understand that we are all the same, and would use their best qualities to serve society, to help others, to do something good, to unite, to create harmony and peace around. How amazing would it be? Thank you so much for sharing, Lina.
My pleasure.
Maybe you can give us I don't know, small advice of what can every one of us do in our daily life to make the world a better place already today, already now. What can we start with?
Okay, I would say start your day saying thank you. I think that's the most powerful word you can use for yourself and for others. Start by saying thank you. You know, we tend to compare a lot among each other because we have not understand that we are different, and we are in different situations, different times of life. And we sometimes we get frustrated when we see, and especially right now that we have access to social media and to the life of our friends and people, and we see the way they want us to see them, right? And what happens when you end up, you know, close social media, you end up with a you know, feeling of, it's my life great, you know. And that's where the point where you start to feel like you are not enough and you should have what other people's have, but you don't realize that you already have enough. And I'm not saying that you should be like conformed with what you have. What I'm saying is that in your situation, what things you can be thankful for and that you have, and what things you think you need in order to improve your life. Sometimes is reading a book of self-discipline, sometimes is talking more with people and different activities. But I think the most important part is to say thank you. And that makes you self-aware of what you have, of the beauty of what surrounds you. You have food, you have shelter, you know. And I always remember my brother. He was in a wheelchair. He couldn't move. He was able to talk, and he was a great painter. He painted such a beautiful artworks. And I remember one of his poems that he wrote before he died, like months before he died. And he was saying, thanking God for his life. He was saying, thank you, God, for my body, for my talents, and for my cells. All good, all well, all healthy. And I was like, wow. Actually, he was grateful because he felt he was healthy and he was, healed, even though he couldn't move. He just could talk and paint, but he wasn't able to go from one place to another. And I was like, how wonderful is this? So grateful for, people would say, for so few. And I think that's one of the most important things we should realize. There's people who are better than us, but there's people who are not that good as us. And focus on what you have and keep moving. And the other thing is, I think that social interaction is also very important. Human contact, kindness, a good, recognize goodness in other people. Even if the actions the person has done may hurt you, but it's like trying to understand why these people, like empathy, being empathetic. Why maybe this person is reacting this way because he might have a bad day, he has some family issues. I don't know. I always try to explain that to my son. Why he answers so rude, Mom? Why you didn't tell him anything? And I was like, maybe he had a bad day. Maybe he didn't sleep well, and that's why he's reacting that way. And he's like, okay. So in a way, try to forgive people. Grateful and forgiveness. I think that's the two components that you need to have in order to improve your life and to start with your contribution as a human being in a society.
Thank you so much, Lina. You're so right about this. Be grateful for everything you have right now, and you're enough as yourself. It's more than enough, and not need to look for approval from, from anybody, because you are who you are, and always respect another person and treat them as a human being with big heart as well. And you're so right about this. You have to remember that we all have different moods and different situations in our life, and but always be grateful for anything you have right now. And social interaction is really important, because we are humans and we are kind of built like this. We need other people around us. And thank you so much for these advices and for sharing the story, your personal story about your brother. And I'm pretty sure that you'll be inspired many people who probably thinking by this moment they have some issues in their life, and now they will be thinking, wow, I can actually do something good for others and I actually have a great life. It probably brings them to realization of it. They have a great life. And yes, thank you so much for that. And we have a tradition during our conversations in our programs where we asking our guests to nominate someone for the next live conversation, to invite some persons that also give you inspirations, and maybe somebody you know personally who is social active. You can bring the great ideas for the project, and just to meet the other good people. So if you have someone in mind, Lina, somebody you would like to invite to our next live broadcast, please share its name or his or her name for us.
Okay. It's a tricky question, but thank you for the opportunity. Yes, I would like, I'm thinking right now of a very good friend and colleague, Her name is Amita Becker. She I don't know how to describe. She's an amazing human being, a wonderful person. She's been there with me in some adaptation process in in a different situations throughout my last year in Singapore. And I think she has a lot to contribute in that creative society. And I think it's worth it to contact her and ask her about her opinion on these 8 foundations and the way she lives her life as well.
Wow, sounds really fantastic, and we're looking forward to having her with us. And maybe, if you wish, you can participate as a co-host with your friend and take my place or Alina's place and have a conversation about creative society as well as a hosting from this part with your friend. That will be great to have you with us as well this way.
Thank you, Ala.
Yeah, we are looking forward to see Samita, right? Samita?
Amita.
Amita
Yes.
on our show, and hopefully you as well, Lina. Again, would be great. And also, we would like to remind our viewers, if you want to join our project, you can go to the Alatra Unite website, which you will see now on the screen, and click join us. And maybe next time we will see you as a guest or as a host, or if you wish, as a technical support. Or just let us know you support the Creative Society project. So feel free to join. And
thank you,
so
Lina.
we have a last question, Lina. What would you like to wish to all our viewers and all people on Earth?
The message you want me to give?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say that life is not a picture, it's a video. So don't worry about what is going on in your life right now. Don't feel it like it's a terrible, the last thing, like for example, in this COVID situation, don't feel hope, don't lose hope. Just stay there, remain there, hang on there. Things are going to improve. Just focus on the things you want to do, who you want to be, what do you want to achieve, who are the people who need you right now, and how can you serve the society, your community, your family, and yourself as well in the best way possible. I think that's one of the things or the invitations I want to do to everyone. Just don't focus on the problem. Focus on how you can make this a better world. What contribution, as no matter how small it is, whether it's a phone call or a blinking eyes because you cannot, you have your mask and you cannot smile, but at least, tighten a little bit your eyes to show that person that you care, and try to improve other human beings' life by a simple gesture, a simple act of kindness. And you will see that life is going to be happier and easier to cope with, especially in these situations. Make more gatherings through Zoom. That is something I encourage, because at this moment we are physically apart and separate and distanced, and we should not lose human interaction, no matter how long it would be. Just try to talk with people, that person that you have not speak to in years, or your parents, or someone you think you might need to reach to. You will make his life different.
Thank you so much, Lina. Such a beautiful message from your heart for everyone. It's wonderful. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best and all the luck with your work and all the light in your path. And just together we can build this beautiful world that humanity deserves. And we can do it only together, united by one goal. And we're looking forward for cooperation with you and stay connected with you as well. And thank you so much for being with us today, for all your answers, for your experience you shared with us and your story. And I'm pretty sure lots of people got inspired today by your story. Thank you so much for looking after our environment as well, and our rivers. It's a personal thank you for you for doing this as well. And it's been a fantastic conversation with you today. So I'd like to say thank you, Lina, and thank Alina as well for giving me opportunity for be co-host today with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ala and Alina. I really had a great time talking to you. And thank you so much for sharing all this project and for trying to reach other people. I think that is a very good contribution you are doing in a way that we need to be together. We need to still together, stay together for improving this world. So thank you so much for having me and for give this a space for me to share my ideas.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for making our day, and I'm sure the day of our viewers, brighter and happier today. Thank you so much for such inspiring, heartwarming conversation. Let's stay in touch and have a great day.
Okay.
Thank you, Alina, Ala. I appreciate. You have a good day.
Have a good day too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Now.